Remember those old Spongebob episodes which some of us used to watch from 1999 from season 1? Well, recently a secret episode has been discovered from that time period. The other day, I was searching through my computer when I came across a notepad document deep within the System 32. I had no idea where it got there, and I wound up scanning it for viruses, and it had one Trojan in it. I deleted it and opened it up. All that was printed on it was one website link, followed by a bunch of gibberish. Having not a single clue what any of it meant, I continued by putting the site link, which I won't tell you in case anyone out there is fucking stupid enough to do it, into my web browser. And it took me to a site, where there was a black background and a huge button, and it had the same text on it that was from the notepad document. I clicked it, and it brought up a download link. The file wanted to be downloaded was called Spongecry.avi. As crazy as I am, I went ahead and downloaded it. Big mistake. The second the download finished, which was about 6.4 megabytes, my computer went insane and then wound up turning off. As I tried to reboot it, nothing happened. The file must have completely destroyed my computer. As upset as I was, I realized it was my old PC. I hopped over to my Mac and re-downloaded it, and this time there were no problems. What was download was a single AVI file, and I wound up playing it. The movie clip was 6 minutes and 4 seconds long. It started out as any SpongeBob episode would, except the color was distorted, and when he got to playing the flute with his nose, it immediately went to the title screen. All that was on the screen were the following words: SpongeBob cry. Only there wasn't any jaunty music like there actually was. It lasted for about 2.5 seconds. It didn't show who the writers or the directors were. I just assumed that whoever had put it online had edited it for time or something. The episode started out inside of SpongeBob's house. It showed SpongeBob sitting in his red chair. The strange thing was, all the other furniture was gone. SpongeBob was crying, very hard, but it didn't sound like anything it does when SpongeBob normally cries. It sounded like an actual human cry, but it was still rather different. It sounded so real and intense. SpongeBob was absolutely bawling. He was ripping chunks out of the chair. Then the camera slowly zoomed in on his face, but it was a kind of zoom as if it was being videotaped by a real person. And the camera zoomed out to show a rotting corpse of Gary laying on the floor in front of him. It was very disturbing. Gary was absolutely mauled to death. His eyes were laying on the floor. His shell was cracked to reveal a very graphic image of the insides of Gary, which looked a whole lot more like it would have really happened to an episode where Gary loses his shell, and the episode was moving around like crazy. SpongeBob suddenly got up out of his chair and ran straight forward. Then the episode stopped moving for about a second, and then it goes to black for about 2 seconds. It came back to SpongeBob's face pressed against the camera, with his mouth exploded open and eyes black, and a deafeningly loud scream. I jolted up and turned down my volume, and then the camera started moving around like insanity. You couldn't even tell what was going on. It was worse than anything that anyone else would have already made. The clip then went to black for 1 minute and 38 seconds and then came back inside the Krusty Krab. Dead silence. All of a sudden, the same face that was present against the camera appeared, but this time the scream was literally deafeningly loud, but it only lasted for about 1/4 of a second. And then the rest of the movie went back to SpongeBob crying in his chair, but after every 10 seconds, SpongeBob just got a little bit more decayed, and the sound gets a little bit more distorted. By the end, all that there is left is static and screaming. Then you can see SpongeBob running around in the background in the static. But for the last 4 seconds, there was text on the screen that read, "One-timed action will be badly. One-time actions will be badly." Exactly that, as if it was written by a preschooler. After the clip finished, my computer shut down. After seeing this video, I have never been the same again. I've been angrier, crueler, and more anxious than ever before. It's haunted my mind all that time. I regret downloading that video in the first place. I honestly just wish I could go back in time and just not download that thing ever. I honestly wish that I had never downloaded that thing.